Hey guys, welcome back to another audio topic. I'm Jay77, and this topic is more of a question rather than opinion, and that is celebrities and their role they play in politics. Now, this is no new secret. A lot of politicians often sometimes rely on a celebrity's credibility as well as popularity to help get the word out, especially if that celebrity it has the same agenda as the party does or the political figure that is running for higher office. It's also not common for a celebrity to voice their own political views, whether on stage or on an interview, or just basically doing smaller things like getting the word out to go help young people to vote. The question pretty much is, do you think that's a good thing? Do you think that celebrities should get involved in politics, or do you believe they should not get involved and should stick with what they do best, and that is acting, performing music, or playing sports? Do you feel that they should not have a very large say, or do you believe that hey, they should have a large say because they do have that resource to get the word out, to basically voice their concerns as well as praise or put down a particular politician. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, and I think it's very important that I mention this because it actually raised the question of the status of celebrities and whether or not they can have a pull in shifting the votes either way, is that I had a very good debate over a friend of mine's about the 2004 election with Obama and McCain, and he excuse me, and he mentioned that one of the reasons why Barack Obama had gotten into office was because Oprah Winfrey endorsed him. And I asked the one question. I said, "Why do you think that?" And he said, "Well, she is the most powerful woman in America." Now, there's no question Oprah Winfrey has a lot of pull. She has a lot of fans from all walks of life who loved her work. But does she has enough fans, enough power to say to those fans that this is the person you should be voting for? And is her credibility that strong that people will just go for it, just by her saying in word of mouth, or just by her endorsing a particular candidate? I never really thought about that. I never really thought that a certain celebrity has that much pull. But then again, you also raise the question of just how much people actually listen to celebrities blindly, especially if they are a huge fan and watch every movie, got every tape, follow them in sports from team to team. Just how much pull that particular person or persons have. Um, let's take a look at Hank Williams, for example. Um, I will tell you right now, I used to have a lot of respect for him. I do as a performer, but as recent months, that respect really diminished on the way he has spoken out against Obama. I think that he is misleading a lot of people. I think that he's also somewhat of a racist, and that the way he keeps talking about Obama in his concerts is unacceptable. That's just my opinion, of course. However, many people will disagree with me on that, and that's fine. That you guys are entitled to your opinion. Many people disagree with that, and many people will cheer him on in his concerts. Does that mean that those people are are mean spirited and racist? No, but it does raise the question: just how much of an influence does Hank Williams Jr. actually truly have? Because keep in mind, despite him having his "Are You Ready for Football" song dropped, he still brings out the crowd in the concert. His albums are not going to go down, and people still love his work. So he's still in his concert, even though I may not agree with him. I bet there's a few thousand in his concert that does and will cheer for him. And with freedom of speech, who to say that who to say what he may say, not only here in the United States but others across the country. And the question is, by him saying what he's saying, whether I agree with what he says or not, does that hold enough pull where people say, yeah, he's right. Why should I vote for him? He's this, he's that, he's this. And that raised the bar question of how much power does celebrities really do have, especially when it comes to the political arena. Another perfect example is Madonna. Now, Madonna has been, for the most part, in terms of this country's views, she has been pretty much quiet about it. Doesn't mean she's not quiet about other views in other countries. In fact, she has got in trouble from other countries for voicing her opinion on things that even she herself did not have a full understanding for. She has actually talked against about the Pussy Riot, some situation where they was in jail, which I do think that's kind of messed up. But in the way she have done it, pretty much did not really look. Russian government did not look at her in a very positive light. I'll put it that way, and even it said that she should be jailed, which raised the question: does our political views sometimes go a bit too far? Does these celebrities' views go a bit too far? Do you think so? I think that, in my personal opinion, and this is just my only personal opinion, that before you go and start crying injustice of what's going on in other people's countries, know the situation first before talking. But other people may disagree. They said that yeah, she did the right thing. She should speak out against the wrongful imprisonment of the rock group, as well as the political figure that she have gotten herself in trouble with, even though that political figure was convicted of corruption. So the question again, should she stir up the crowd the way she did, or should she kept her big mouth shut and just perform the concert the way that most people should expected her, and not make a concert as a political, as in a way of voicing her political views? Um, these are questions that has been asked around, and I got a lot of mixed questions for it. And I don't try and say you're wrong or right. I hear what all sides have to say, and just basically come with my own conclusion. And that's one of some of the things I actually want a lot of people who listen to this audio to do, to really think about it and ask yourself, when you hear a celebrity, whether it's Brad Pitt and voicing his political agenda, and he does a couple times, to Angelina Jolie, which is a very strong celebrity within the political arena, especially in the embassies. She does have a lot of political pull. Believe me, believe that. To Morgan Freeman, when he voices his opinion on the Republican Party and got criticized for it, by the way. To Matt Damon, who pretty much is in the middle. He criticized Barack Obama in his performance. Yet at the same time, he criticized the Republicans and their views and their performance of late. To even Kim Kardashian and her opinions, to Lindsay Lohan and how she says that the Barack Obama should cut taxes for the rich. All these stuff that you may think nobody really pays no mind to, you'd be surprised. A lot of people do take that to heart because for reasons or another, they're fans of them. And it's not wrong to be fans, but they also take whatever they say into heart, to the point where it can. I'm not gonna say it don't. It can persuade people to vote one way or another. It, and the perfect example of this is Nicki Minaj, and she actually was the one that prompted me to do this audio topic, because a lot of people were upset with her, and I was like, why? And because there was rumor that she was actually going to vote for Romney. She was actually a supporter of Romney, and people lost their lid. I was like, well, if she's going to vote for Romney or support for Romney, she must have a reason. I don't know what her reason is, but she must have a reason, and why is that a big deal? But apparently it was a big deal because one person told me that she could persuade the black people to vote Romney because she has a lot of minority fans. And I actually scratched my head. And I was saying, really? She really had that much power towards the minority votes? You really sure about that? And of course, the report said she was actually joking, which honestly, I don't think she was. But at the same time, I don't think she should apologize anyhow. I think that if she does like Romney, for whatever reason, that's her business. I think that, as long as she can live with the vote, that's fine by me. Who am I to say that she shouldn't vote for someone? And I kind of find that very interesting and very dangerous. That if she did change her mind, and for the wrong reason, I find that very dangerous, and I find that very intimidating, and I don't think that that's a good thing. Um, Now, keep in mind, we never really publicly hear what Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, there's not a very much interview, at least the one I've seen, that Nicki Minaj said, "I'm, supporting this guy for this, this, and that." I've seen other celebrities, and I heard their opinions, but I never really heard from Nicki Minaj, so I don't know where that came from, or but it was definitely big news. And a lot of people, even some people on the line, said that she shouldn't have changed her mind just because a bunch of people said that she was an idiot for voting for Romney, and they were stunned and disappointed that they voted for Romney. But it does raise the question: does a particular star, whether they're musicians, whether they're actors, whether they're athletes, um, does that has an effect on people's votes? And again, it's a pretty much question I'm bringing out to everyone. If a particular actor came up and said, "I'm voting for Mitt Romney because such, 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 such," will that sway your vote? If somebody would say, "I'm not voting for that person for such, 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 and that's whether it's Democrat or Republican," will you say, "Well, because he's not voting for that person, I'm not voting either because I'm a star, I'm a big fan of this celebrity, I love his work, I love what he does, and he must know what he's talking about. That's why I'm not going to vote for this star." Does that play into your voting? Should it play into your voting? And at first, again, I said I don't think that's the case. I don't think these celebrities have that much of a play. But hearing how many people was like very upset when Nicki Minaj when it was possible that she may support Romney, it makes me wonder a little bit about that. It makes me really think: does celebrity does have any pull, and does their comments on a particular politician or candidate sway people? It really all depends. Like I really do. Keep in mind, it doesn't always work out that way. People didn't really took seriously what Clint Eastwood was doing on stage. But again, when Clint Eastwood comments said that, "Hey, I'm going to do whatever I want to say, and if I had a chance to do it again," I respect the guy. I really do. I think, still personally, I think he should have had somebody write his own speech. But it is what it is. So sometimes it's not always going to work out, but doesn't mean that people's going to say because the guy looks like an idiot on a podium or talks stupid on the stage. Doesn't really matter. I honestly believe it doesn't really matter in some extents because people are going to vote for who they're going to vote for anyway, and they have vote and for reasons that only them um, will have to be satisfied with. And what I mean by that is that, and this goes back to this whole thing with Nicki Minaj, is that it's not my place to tell people who they should and shouldn't vote for. It really isn't. Voting is something that's personal. Voting is something that is private. It's one of the reasons why we have booths with curtains. Um, you know, whoever you vote for, that's your vote for. Only thing I ask for, whoever you vote for, live with the person that you elected. Know why you elected him. And don't complain when that person doesn't deliver on other things which you did not vote it for. And that's my own beef about it. Because too many times I hear people say, "That's not what we voted for." And I always say, well, technically you did, because he wasn't lying about cutting this, cutting that, and balancing the budget. He's just doing it in the expense of other stuff that which we all hold dear to. Um, and that's not just a celebrity thing. That's just in general. All I say is to everybody, vote wisely. And if you're going to vote, live with the reason why you voted for that person. That's just my opinion, of course. But in terms of celebrity, it does raise the question, and I do believe that celebrities do have a powerful influence. They do have a way of getting the voices heard, especially if this is a celebrity that kids, the young group ages 18 and above, who is just coming in, who's just registering to vote, and those who may not want to think about voting. They're stars, especially if they see their famous rapper, spreading the word, go out there and vote. It's very important to go out there and make your voices be heard. Yeah, they do play that important role, but do they actually play a role where they, by them saying, "I support this guy because what he does for here, here, and here, and what he does here and here," does that persuade on a majority group of voters to vote the other way. That's something that I really don't. I really don't, in the sense that I think honestly, when it all comes down to it, they're gonna vote for who they're gonna vote for based on their own personal views. But again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It's not a right answer. I could be mistaken. People do tend to vote for the most strangest reasons, and depending on how powerful that celebrity is and how much he spread the word, which by the way, a lot of them has been doing it, from Donald Trump all the way down to even Morgan Freeman. It could play a very significant part on how people think. It could. I'm not saying it don't. But basically, what I'm saying is, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys feel about this? I'd like to hear from it from the comment section, because it's a very important thing, topic. You may not think it is, but it actually is, because a lot of people feel that that besides them having a very strong influence, a lot of people don't feel they shouldn't be saying anything, and I think that they should just stick with what they do best, and that is just basically, act, perform, music, concerts, and just stick with that, and don't have a significant say on politics, especially if they don't even know what the hell is going on in the arena, or what's going on outside their own bubble. So, with that being said, I'm leaving it up to you guys to pretty much voice your opinion on this. I'm very curious about this, and to keep in mind, it's not a right or wrong answer. Just what you feel about this. Do you think that celebrities should play a significant role, a more role into politician, or do they should take a step back and just do what their fans require them to do? That's make movies, make music, or just play baseball and basketball and football. That's basically the question I'm going to bring out there. And I'd like to hear. I'm curious of seeing what you guys have to say about it. I really am. So, especially with November coming, and believe me, the election days are slowly creeping up. So, if a person of interest that comes out of nowhere, say like, say like probably Jason Gordon-Levitt, or Kristen Bell comes out and say, I'm gonna vote for Obama because I do believe he's for the people. Well, you say, well, wow, he was Batman. Batman is for the people. I want to vote for him. Or you think, oh, that's very nice, but I'm gonna vote for this guy because he sticks with my views. So it's really, I'm throwing it out there, guys. Do you believe that to play a role, or do you don't believe that should play a role? Leave it in the comment section. Let me know. And until then. This is J77 saying, take care, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon.